Hello guys, so this is episode 2 from our tutorial to create an application um, for OpenCV in React. So this is what our application would look like. So we have the original image that we are going to upload here, and then the output image. After applying each of these effects are going to be in a navbar that is a bootstrap React component. Each tab will have its own options. For example, adding random noise or low pass filter, high pass filter is going to have how much, like the magnitude, or all the options that belongs to each of the effects that we are going to apply. We are also going to have an option to pile the changes on top of each other, or not to pile the changes on top of each other. So we're just going to apply one effect or multiple effects depending on this option, and then you can download this image. That is how we are going to that is the design of our application. This is going to be one card next to another card, and inside this card we're going to have the navbar component. Each navbar component is going to have a card again, and with the corresponding options. It's going to be card on top of cards, buttons, navbar, and canvases. Now we are on our application. Remember that we are going to focus on just one React component on the application that we have been building since the last tutorial, but don't worry, these components can work by themselves, so they don't need to be attached to the big application. This is just, so don't worry if you don't want to finish the last application. You can just make this work by itself. So now, as you remember, we finished the upload image function. So you see, without using the server, we can show the image that we have uploaded. And now we want to make all the HTML code to display the two cards and all the buttons and navbar and all that. So how do we do that? So we need to put two cards next to each other, the same way as here, and we also want to make them be on display in a vertical design like this when the screen is small. When the screen is big, we want them to be next to each other. When the screen is small, we want them to be on top of each other. So how do we do this? So we want to follow this same idea. You see, by default, this is what happens, is 3 divs next to each other. When it's up to, when it's less than this, is 2, and when it's less than 700 is 1. Let's create a folder for the CSS let's call it this name. But we don't want this case. We just want the 2 next to each other and 1 when the screen is small. Let's import this style. Oh, sorry, this is not the right component. The component is this one. Let's import the card element. Let's import the nav element. Let's create the 2 main cards. So here we have created our 2 main cards. The first one, the second one, and with the input file on one of the cards. Each card is inside the div element, and on top of those 2 div elements we have another div element with the class image wrap. That has the behavior that we want. Let's see if it works. And it doesn't work. Let's see why. Okay, so first I changed the names because since I'm going to have 2 files with the style, well, you can have 1, but I want to have 2 for some reason. I named one main section style and the other subsection style. Okay, and the subsection style is going to be named like this. So now this is going to be named main sec Okay, so we give this class to this div and this class to this one. Remember, one class is here, is this one, the other class is this one and this one, and we saved the styles files and now it works. Now let's add the nav component to the second card. So this is our nav bar with some tentative options. I extracted these options from here. So how the nav element works is that each time you press one of these, you're going to execute this with this as a parameter. So we need to change all this and make it correspond to the link, to the name. Now I inserted the correct key to distinguish if each link. Now we need to implement this handle select. Our handle select will look like something like this. So we have a switch that will execute a code according to the event key, and the event key comes from here. So let's see if this works. And you see it works. Color space, geometric, morphological, smoothing, edge. So now that I have discovered that there are so many, maybe nav is not going to be suitable for this function because there are too many. Or maybe I can do 2 nav bars just for the sake of design. Because I like the idea to see all the transformations and not a list, but there are too many, so I will think a way of solving this problem. So because there are too many, what we are going to do in order to not make a mess of this component, we are going to make one component for each of these transformations, and this component is going to receive a canvas or a canvas ID, and is going to receive a function that is going to be like set image, something like this. It's going to receive this and the canvas, and then it's going to execute this function inside the React component. In this way, we won't have like hundreds of lines in this React component. We are going to distribute the code among several React components. So we need to create a folder that is going to be named transformations. Inside this folder we are going to have for example color space .js and another file that will be geometric. And so on. And each of these files, as I said before, is going to receive the canvas and is going to receive this function, and this function is going to set the canvas content. So that is how we are going to proceed. But this will be done or completed in the coming episodes. So this is for now. Goodbye.